Just to kind of look at another thing now. You have created many rules. I've heard about rules that you have created for cricket. Can you highlight maybe two or three of the main rules that you think now that you would like to share with the
Well,
audience?
I
Want to
say,
hear all of them?
I
You want to
say,
hear all of
Oh, you
them?
mean want to hear all of them? No, no, two and three. We are big him
How
up.
many? How many do you have?
maybe about six.
All right, six,
What?
six, six,
Yeah,
six,
want to hear
six.
them, man?
Now,
Share them, share them, share them.
for
share
the
them.
2000 edition of the MCC laws, the danger zone then was 58 feet by 2 feet. I had it changed to 56 feet by 2 feet.
Why? Why smaller?
Because the fast bowler bowling close to the wicket would be getting into the danger zone if and whenever it was 58 feet. So he got another foot. And it would not really disturb the batsman if a ball would pitch wherever his foot was landing.
Yeah.
So that was changed.
So no one is at more of an advantage, the batsman or the pitcher?
Now it's an advantage to the bowler.
Okay.
Because how do you penalize a Curtly Ambrose when his normal follow through will be going into the 58
Oh,
region?
yeah, yeah.
So he got the extra, possibly the extra 6 inches, because he would be going into the danger zone by 6 inches when it was 58. Now, when it now comes down to 56, he would now avoid the danger area and he'd be happy. Because what the law did then was to take away certain deliveries from bowlers because of where they were following through.
Oh,
So I had it changed. Now, the one that seemed to be the most spectacular today is the catch on the boundary, where you see a fielder running, taking the ball, and momentum is going to take him off the field.
Oh, yeah.
So he throws the ball in the air before he gets to the boundary. Then he goes over the boundary, and then he returns to take the catch on the field. Now, that, I believe, would have been the most spectacular thing to watch on a cricket field.
I love watching it now.
But
Yeah.
you see, not many persons knew exactly where it came from.
Yeah.
And you influence that?
No, I changed it, sir.
Cha,
I got
cha,
to change
Change
what
it.
I influence,
Man,
they
change
change it.
No, it's not a matter of influence. I got to change
Change.
because this is something that the world would have been happy about. And because it was what it was then, that you could not come back to take a catch. What the law said then, coming back onto the field to take the catch was not null and void, but the batsman could be run out. Of the same thing. Now, you can take the catch.
Oh.
And you have seen a lot of it in cricket, and
Yes.
people enjoy
I
seeing
love
that.
seeing it now.
It is a spectacle. And because it's a spectacle, I am now enjoying it. The other one, which I had a problem with, especially discussing with the members from the Western region in Jamaica, the law which said that the ball only becomes dead when it is settled in the hands of the gloves of the wicket keeper or in the hands of the bowler. And I made it known clearly that there will be time wasted if you allow that rule to remain. The keeper takes the ball, is played into the slip region. It is passed around to gully, then to cover point, then to extra cover, then to mid-off, then to the bowler. That is when it now becomes dead. No, that is time wasting.
Yeah.
Because the batsman may want to do some gardening. So he has to wait until the ball becomes dead to do the gardening. Now, the change is now, if the ball is in the fielder's hand and the batsman has no intention of running, the fielder has no intention of running him out, then the ball automatically becomes dead and the batsman can do his gardening.
Okay.
And you see the difference in time.
Yes.
The time that the ball will go around the field, by the time the ball reaches the bowler, there would have been enough time for a restart. So that was changed.
So was there a lot of controversy around that change?
The controversy, I thought, was time wasting.
Okay.
Because if you allow the ball to reach that stage to become dead, then the ball moving from the slip region to cover point to extra cover to mid off, then to the bowler. That is time that could be used to do something else. So once, so time wasting, yes, that was prevented.
Gotcha. Give me another one, man. More hear all of them, you know.
Now
Sure.
there's a present guide. If you watch cricket, there's a present guide for the wide on the offside. I was a person who not actually marking the guide, but I was the only person who used it in the World Cup. Because umpires said that they can judge a wide. Well, I am saying that if I put a mark, the commentators can see where the mark is and they can't say nothing. Because them say Bucknor's mark is there for the wide. We see that we have seen the ball pass wherever, so his decision is there for everyone to see, rather than no mark. Now ICC has put in a mark. ICC can't take credit for that mark because I used to put the mark in, but what they have done now, they have said that the mark is to be done on whatever the guidelines, distance from wherever. So it is now in every cricket.
Good.
It was first only in the games that I did. And when the question was asked, how far away from the off stump is your mark? And I told them this, okay, they have made a little bit of a slight difference by 1 inch. But there was no mark before. I used to put the mark in. I used to take the brush from the curator and put my mark in. Many persons didn't like it, but if you, the commentator, see it or the batsman sees it, don't argue. This is my mark. And if my mark is there, I live by my mark, not by guessing to say this might or might not be. Because I was someone who, the commentators, I was told sometimes 9 replays, and I would be there in Jamaica and I say, hold on, Mr. Bucknor. Why them people having 9 replays and every decision you make, replay from every angle? And in the end, I say, oh, Mr. Bucknor is right again.
Yes.
No, that is a target. I am being targeted. Especially with the English commentators.
Yes,
It's a target. So you're trying to find something to commentate and, oh, that's a mistake. And when they can't find it, finish, argument finish.
Yeah.
Now, something that would surprise many people. A match day, 6 hours. So 6 hours would make 360 minutes. Many games were played for 370 minutes. And if an over starts just before the lunch interval, you play 120 minutes for the first session. If the over starts before the interval begins, the over might end 5 minutes into the so-called interval time. So the first interval would have been 125 minutes. But the restart then was 35 minutes after.
Oh.
So the lunch and interval was 35 minutes and not 40. And when I ask a question, I say, how many minutes do you have in 6 hours? Them say 360. So I say, why are we playing 370? And they look at me and say, I can't prove it. Because sometimes for tea, you lose 5 minutes. You have only 15 minutes for tea. Because it's 20 minutes interval. And with that now, if tea is supposed to start at this time, but you go into the interval by whatever time, you still have 20 minutes for tea. So at the end of the day, you have 360 minutes, and people can't complain. 6 hours mean 360 minutes, and them say, we won't argue about that, you know. We are not going to argue because you're perfectly correct. It doesn't mean that the game won't last more than 360 minutes, you know. But the 40 minutes for lunch will be observed regardless of when you start it. This is 40 minutes after it starts, that is your lunch.
Yes.
And as an umpire, and you get 15 minutes for tea, you know, you come in and you go wash your face and rear side, and after 5 minutes, you're almost ready to go back out.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work
No,
like
no.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you see, many persons would never know that is what used to happen.
Amazing, amazing.
Now, the last two, not so difficult. And those six were laws. Number seven is not a law. Number seven had to do with leg before decisions,
Aye.
wherein umpires will be going up with the finger as soon as the ball hit the back pad. They're going up. And I usually take some time, and I was criticized heavily in Jamaica. Boy, umpire take too long, you know. You must do like Johnny Gill and sang you. And I said, no, this is Steve Bucknor.
Yes.
I am my own man. Me do anything me feel like doing.
Yes.
Them say, but if you hurry, so I say, hold on. Is it 100% decision making? I say, yes. So I said, that if I am correct, why are you complaining if I am correct? So I would take some time to make a leg before decision. And when the question was asked, why do you take so long? I said, I have to replay in my mind. And I replay and I satisfy myself and I make a decision. Now, if I get 100%, why should I take half a second to make a decision when I can take maybe 2 seconds and get it correct? Because there are occasions, or there were occasions when, because of waiting, I was able to make the correct decision.
Yeah.
And the last of which is certainly not a law, but you may see some umpires mark the midpoint behind the wicket. You may see it so that they know that they are standing over the middle stump. I was the first person to put it in. I put in the marks myself, and people saw them, and them said, well then, because you could always stand up anywhere, you know. If the mark is there to show middle stump, then you know that your nose is in line with the mark, and there's no question to be asked. So a few things were copied, yes, but then persons understood why these decisions were made, and people enjoyed them. Because up to now, you still see umpires not hurrying to make a decision.
Yes.
Because they realize that it is better to wait a little bit longer to make that decision than to hurry and make a mistake.
Right.
Yes, yes. That's so good though. So many things you have contributed to. I love to see balls going over and they catch it before and throw it back over. It's spectacular. Yes.
You see, it is good for the game.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
And
yeah.
when I ask the question, why not? Why not allow that in? Nobody had any remark to make. Nobody. Because it is good for the game to see a catch taken on the field. But to see the fielder, sometimes the fielder will throw the ball up and another fielder will take the catch because of momentum.
Right.
And something that is spectacular and good for the game, why not?
Yeah, yeah.
You have one more, eh?
Well, this one is a little bit along the side of danger. A ball that is hit to mid-off, and in cricket, we speak about the V. A ball hit to mid-off, and then it was influenced, the umpire should go ball side. Now, if you're on the side of the ball, that is the bowler's umpire, you can be hit with the ball.
I don't want that. Yeah.
And to prevent that, I made it clear in the same 2000, the umpire should go on the other side. They said, why? I said, first is preservation. I am going to follow your ball side and get hit. And then you're sorry for me, don't sorry for me. Go on the other side, you can see as much for the run out. And now it is written as bylaws, but it's something that is influencing the game. Don't go where it is possible to get hit. Go where you are certain that you will not get hit.
True.
If the ball goes far in the outfield, yes, you can go ball side. But when it goes down the V, for example, to mid-off or to mid-on, go to the other side, where you can still see to make a decision and you're clear from danger.
Yeah,
Because in my region, persons were saying that you must go ball side. I said, which rule tell you so? The book, I said, no rule not tell you so.
I think you
No,
didn't
we
want
not
to be
tell
hit
you,
with the
sir.
ball. Mr. Bucknor,
No,
so
but
you have to protect yourself.
no, but hold on. If you're hitting the ball, how can you make a decision if you're hitting the ball? I remember seeing an umpire jump out of the way, jump. It was in the newspaper to see him jumping. You know what? Where he was looking at the ball while jumping. So when the ball come in, him don't see it because he was trying to get out of the way. But if there was a run out, he would not have known.
Yes.
So these are a few of the things that would have influenced umpiring on a whole. And I'm happy that I was able to make a contribution.
You
Then-
made the game better. That is
Well, of
for
course,
sure. You
of
made the
course,
game better
of
for
course.
sure. As you're talking, I said you have had so many high points. And I know there are many. But reflecting on football and cricket, do you have any high points in one or the other?
Certainly. My first World Cup final in 1992. And for the listeners' sake, I did 5 World Cup finals in a row. 5 of them.
Mad.
Which is not so easy. And nobody has ever done that.
Mad.
Okay? But my first World Cup final in 1992, it was Pakistan against England. And on one occasion, 2 players went at it, and I say, sorry, you cannot mash up my day today. You're going damn well behave yourself out here. So move away and go and play. And by so doing that, the game went on. But then I was a young umpire. No, they didn't know about me. But I had to start my class for the simple reason I was a soccer referee.
Yeah.
And then going into certain areas, you realize that you could get into trouble if your game is not done properly. So I use that experience to put people, not necessarily to put them in their places, but to put people in a sort of zone that they understand that I am not going to stand up for that. No way. And the game went on, and I enjoyed the game because I went to the World Cup then with 4 test matches and 3 ODIs. I was the least experienced umpire to go to the World Cup. And get to the final, I thought that was my big moment, and I really cherished the moment until today. Even though I did 4 more World Cup finals after, but that was the beginning. That was the beginning, and then I told myself that I have to hold on to that level of performance, and that influenced me to go on and on and on, and doing 4 more finals.
Yeah.
Really
I
happy for
distinctly
that.
remember those games, just watching you standing over and putting up the finger when someone is out after considering for that time you stated.
Of course.
And for football, soccer, as we call it here, what was your big moment or your biggest moment?
There were not really many big moments as such, excepting to say,
Remember one?
that.
Yeah, man. You
No, no,
remember
no.
one? Yeah, in love.
I remember many moments,
All
but
right.
excepting to say that there was a St. James final, and I heard about the first final, and it was played, and somewhere along the line, the game just mashed up. A goal was scored, it wasn't awarded, and spectators and whomever came on, game was done with. I was there to see the replay. One player got his foot broken, game stopped.
Whoa.
And I was just coming from Barbados umpiring, and the president asked, can you do the game for me? I said, yes, President, I will do the game for you. I went to the store. I had 2 sets of cards. That is 2 red, 2 yellow. I went to the store and I bought 3 more sets of cards. And I came to the field and I had 2 yellow cards with me. I dropped them on the ground and everybody saw it. I picked them up, went to the fence and threw them over the fence to one of my friends and said, you hold that. And returning to the field, the player said, then referee, what kind of cards you have? I'm going to take out 5 red cards and throw them on the ground and say, we don't have any more. 5 red cards,
yes.
that is all we have.
Message said.
5 red cards. And you know that the game was played, no worries at all.
Yeah.
For the simple reason, it was a bit of intimidation, but then you have to know how to get things going without your game being destroyed.
So true, so true, so true.
You're still watching the game, the game of cricket till this day?
Excuse me, sir. I am still umpiring until today, sir.
Aye.
From April,
All right.
from April down to November, I umpire every year. In New
Okay.
York. I do high school cricket, and then on the weekends I do club cricket until until October,
Okay.
until the middle of October. So I umpire a lot.
So you're not
And,
taking a break?
sir, it is a physical person that made me, and I have to continue going.
See.
Excepting to say that I heard a few years ago that an umpire died in England. He was 80 doing junior cricket and a ball hit him in the head. So I am still trying my best to keep my reflexes
No
okay.
going, yeah.
I walk, I jog to keep fit enough, even though people still hit the ball head height. And you have to go down and hope that nothing happens.
So with the current game today, how it a play, right? Are you pleased with it?
No, not with what West Indies is, what they are doing. West Indies test cricket is not what it ought to be, and I don't think many persons are trying to make it better, because there are some who play the shortened version who can play test cricket, but the shortened version produces so much money, and that is what they want,
Right.
and not to be concerned with anything else.
Is there any law in the game that you would like to make a change to or create currently?
It is
If
not.
you can.
It is not a law. It is not a law. It is something that ICC is doing, and I can't change ICC's
True, of course.
version on it, and I don't want to write to put on paper. But if we think about it, a ball pitching on this spot, it hits the batsman at a particular point. He plays that shot, and the ball is going on to just to chip the leg stump. If at first the umpire says not out, naturally you have replays and so on, and the replay will say, umpire, it is your call. The ball is chipping leg stump. If he had given it out before, the third umpire would influence him to say, stay with your decision. In other words, if he says out, he stays with the decision. Now, the other ball, the identical thing happening. The ball chipping the leg stump, and he says not out. So when that decision goes up to the third umpire, he is influenced to say not out. Now, how can the two balls do the same identical thing and one is out and one is not out? But ICC, they're not prepared to accept that, because I had already said to them, you cannot have the same thing happening two times and get two different decisions. It must be one decision. But it is a matter of giving the umpire the benefit of a decision, of a correct decision. But you can't give him the benefit of a correct decision when it is a wrong decision. So if two balls are doing the identical thing, pitching the same spot, hitting the pad, same place, chipping the leg stump, same place, it has to be one decision. The two times will make one decision. So both decisions must be out. But you can still give the umpire credit for a difficult decision when he gives it out. But you can't say it is not out, because had the ball not hit the pad on two occasions, what would have happened? The batsman would have been bowled two times.
Yes. Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So logically speaking, the identical thing happening twice must be one decision made two times. But then they don't see it that way, I won't complain.
See.
Splendid. Splendid.
All right, we're getting close now, all right? So upon closing, is there any charity that you're a part of, or that you need, support with, that you want to let us know, let the audience know about?
Well, I was a member of Montego Bay Boys Club, so I remain a member of Boys Club, and I do whatever I can for Boys Club. And at this stage, once I'm here and coming down, the question is, can you take this for us? Can you take lights for us? Can you take soccer balls for us for training? Can you take this? And I can't say no.
Right.
I always say yes, 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 because I was always there when things were flourishing. Things are not so
Right
right
now.
now, especially after COVID. So I am doing my best to do whatever I can, because in going down now, I was told that when the back of the club is dark at nights.
Yeah.
Can you
Right.
buy the lights? I'm ready. I have them.
Good, good.
Hoping that I won't lose my customs, which I don't think. But I have them, and I have 4 soccer balls.
Yes.
I have bibs.
Nice, nice.
I'm going to give it, because that's a part of me, you know.
Yes,
They
beautiful.
say give and don't count the cost.
Yeah. Give and
Yes,
don't count the
yes.
cost. Worry about it later.
No, well,
Yes.
I can't worry about it, you know.
You know, as I can see that you have been in Montego Bay forever, contributing to the young men and women in the city, and continue to do charity work, which is commendable. I wanted to ask you, because it's so important that we ask individuals who are now reflecting on the Jamaican system, if you had a message that you would send to young Jamaicans now thinking about sports and cricket and so forth, and trying to elevate themselves, you know, what advice or guidance would you say, give to them? Maybe 3 things that you want to leave them with to think about that will help them as they journey this pathway. Any ideas, any thoughts, any guidance?
Well, I will tell you as soon as I find them. Yes, I'll tell you. One, it is your personality.
Personality.
How do you see yourself in life? In the future, what do you want them to remember you by? One, you can be a winner by cheating. Is that how you want to be remembered? And I'm saying no. You try your best to play fairly, fair play. And this is how I influence youngsters all the way from high school. I was captain of my club. And I said, if you don't take the cash, don't appeal. Him said, no. I cannot afford that. The cheating part of it is not part of me. Leave that alone.
Great.
Youngsters in school need to understand that the schoolwork is important. The discipline is important. Not everybody will pass the exam. But there are opportunities for many. You check and see how many track scholarships are being given away. How many youngsters come to the United States. And even if they don't make the national team afterwards, it is an opportunity for them to continue doing what they love doing and go to school and get an education.
So true.
Because that education is what is going to take them on, you know. Some persons are fortunate that by the age of 35, they have millions.
Yeah.
But others won't have millions.
So true.
But
And when
once
I
you have that indication.
Yeah.
And when I spoke to one of the youngsters who I used to coach at States, and I said, want your daughter? He said, I have a barrister that you talk about.
Yeah.
Used to go to Manchester High. He said, no man, a 2 degree that I have, you know, 2 degrees.
Yes.
So even though she left on a scholarship, she did not do so well after. But
Yes.
hold up herself
Yes,
high
yes,
because
so
of
true.
being properly educated.
So true.
You know, so the next part is, what is it that I can do to make my community better? But whatever it is has to do with self. It is self. Not all of us will have that big, an amount of money to keep you. But then if you are educated and if you walk the thin line, walk the middle of the road, you're going to be better off later on, because there are many persons not passing subjects. They have good jobs now. Boys who I coach, And I say, come, I could go high school. They not pass that subject, but they are supervisors in them,
Area.
even without that level of education. But it was a matter of humility. Come, we go in school, we play two ball, we get a job, and we have a family, we have a house without one subject. But it is the
Effort.
effort and the personality that that person would have had made a big difference. I mean, I'm talking about one person right now from Mount Salem. His
Yes.
personality. You have another one who is running one of them shops or deal with phones. Him is called Mr. Swanso. Mr.
Yes.
Because nice guy, good personality, went to school, not necessarily passing many subjects or any, but him is the boss of that place.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So I am saying that you don't have to try to live like me, but there are things that would help. And like me now as a parent, I spend my money on my children, you know. I hope my children have, you know. No, we have a lot of children, but we make certain that one profession. Profession. It's
Yes.
three teachers, three girls me have teaching. Three teachers. I may say, if we have to move up to another degree, we can move up to another
Yes.
degree.
Yes.
But this is for you because they didn't see themselves as teaching, no? They didn't see it, you know. But, sorry, excepting for one. And I say, all right, whatever you want to be, to become, is it possible to do that in college? Not possible. Sorry, I could teach, you know.
Yes.
You
Yes.
understand? So that is what it is. They can take care of themselves
That's what you want.
easily, and they have children doing very well in school because of what it takes to raise the children. And the last thing I say, someone approached the bank of Scotia, Nova Scotia in Montego Bay, and the person who looked after him, not a teller because she has risen above that level,
Okay.
and the person come to me and say, Mr. Bucknor, boy, you have a nice daughter, you know, man. A big man. So I said, what do you mean by that? He said, boy, I'm go inside the place, man. And when the young lady look after me, said, I still Bucknor your father? And she said, yes. And she said, how you know? He said, man, the personality, the same thing. The same thing. And I said, hold on, what is this? He said, man, it is care, take care to serve.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is how I look at it right now. And going back to Jamaica, I'm going to give away as many cricket balls as I have. I have cricket balls, I give them away. Footballs, I give them away. And them say, how you mean you can't give them away? I say, me, why not?
True.
The need is there. I will fulfill the need. I'm going to try to fulfill the need. Because I don't need so much.
True. Share.
You need, I don't need, I
Yeah.
give.
Share.
Yes.
Share the stuff.
And there are times when if the money, me not have it, you know. But me have to make certain, me have a fear for go home. And I say, take this. And me say, no man, take it. You have the need. So that is me, is my personality to that.
Yeah.
I am happy to give. And there are times when it is difficult even after giving to eat. But
Yeah.
we still give because it is said that whoever loves a cheerful giver, I'm happy for that.
Yeah. Thanks. In depth.
Big time, in depth. Well, we give thanks, you know. See? So turn it up Tuesday. We're in the presence of two humble educators and givers. Big time knowledge. So we give thanks for your presence
Yes.
and the
yes,
information
yes,
shared.
Yes.
Rowan, look forward to your information.
Yes.
Did you know?
Yes. Did you know? Yeah.